Welcome to Subramani. Few advisors call me once in a while to ask how to handle a particular problem. So one problem which has come up quite commonly is for people asking me, what do we tell people when they ask for investing in cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, and how do you handle it? I think it's a little complicated answer, and I will give it to you in various parts. So when somebody calls me or asks me what do I think about Bitcoin, first of all I tell them, well, in India its legal position is not known. I am not getting into whether it is illegal or legal, but the position is not known. Can the government come and confiscate everything? I don't think so. Like any other asset, you mean if real estate was not regulated till RERA was formed a few years ago. So holding real estate was not illegal. But you could always, if you had a dispute with the real estate, you gave it to a person who was staying there, he was your tenant and he was not vacating, some relief was available to you under the common law. I really don't know what is available to you for if something goes wrong with the person through whom you are buying cryptocurrency, whatever. I don't know how it is regulated. In fact, it's not regulated. RBI does not have any clear view on this. They are not saying it is illegal, you cannot invest. Nor are they going to protect you. No, in a country where when you have regulators and still you can't get justice, when you have SEBI, you have RBI, and if you think you can get justice, go and talk to Sucheta Dalal. She comes out with a video every other day saying how investors have been cheated. I mean, she's doing an amazing amount of work. And you realize that even with all the regulators in place, you don't know what is their role. You don't know what they are going to do. They don't allow a government bank to fail, but they will allow a cooperative bank to fail, and they will have enough reasons to so. But your money is gone. If you had money in Punjab and Maharashtra Bank, PMC Bank, which is a cooperative bank, by now you have learned to live without it, right? So the worst case scenario was a Jet Airways pilot who lost his job and found all his money was in PMC. He actually died, right? That's a news item that I'm quoting from. So in a country with so-called regulators all over the place, you still don't get justice. Why would you want to invest in a currency whatever it is, where you do not even understand what happens? One. Second, I am perfectly incompetent to talk about cryptocurrency because I don't know enough about cryptocurrency to talk about the risks of cryptocurrency. I can see the benefits, I can see prices going up and people making money, but I do not know the risks of cryptocurrency. Can you lose everything? How much can it fall? Will an SIP work? Should it be a weekly SIP or a monthly SIP? What happens if I panic? What if I want money at 3 a.m. will I be able to get it? I don't have answers for all this. So if I don't have answers, I'm not competent. So please go to somebody else who has the answers. The problem with the IFAs is then they are afraid that their client will go and make some mistake. Perfectly agreed, but I'm not looking for that. So for me, perfectly possible to give that answer. Another answer which I like is to say it's very volatile, right? So my example is very simple. Suppose I give you 3 crores worth of Bitcoins to build a house for me, and the price increases, price of the Bitcoin increases and it becomes 6 crores in the next 1 month or 45 days. I'll rush back to you and say, okay, I've given you too much, so give back some money. And that person is going to say, look, I don't know, I didn't know what I should do. I just encashed and I bought all these assets. This is what is lying, and today this is worth about 3 crores because that is what I paid for it. The value of your Bitcoin has gone up means nothing to me because I don't have it. So it's too volatile an asset class to become a medium of exchange. To be a medium of exchange, it should not, it can appreciate. It's not that the rupee does not depreciate against the dollar, but it can't be so dramatic. It can't be 7% a day or 8% a week or things like that. That is too damn volatile. So something which is so volatile to me cannot be a great asset, right? Little bit of volatility one can understand. So much volatility, it's not a medium of currency, nor is it a store value, simply because the way it has gone up, it can also go down, and I don't understand why it went up, so I won't understand how it went down. And very many people are not even asking what is cryptocurrency, they are asking how to buy it, where to buy it, which means they've already made up their mind, and many of them are risk averse. They don't know what is risk. So, but they somehow think, oh, cryptocurrency, they're more into their headline addicts, saying, oh, the person invested $100, it has become $1 million. So how do you keep a person away? FOMO is a big worry. So explain to them about FOMO, talk about behavioral finance, and say, look, if you have all your assets in place, then maybe you can look at it. I would look at it this way. I would tell a person that the key to good health is having a sensible diet, a reasonable amount of exercise, and living a stress-free life. This combination has to happen. You cannot overdo one thing. You can't say, oh, I only have some stress, but I eat well and I sleep well. You can't. The combination has to be in place, right? So if you have everything else in place, then a little bit of crypto doesn't really matter. Now, if you have every day there is some solution available to reduce your weight or increase your strength or increase your longevity, right? I remember when we were in school, there used to be something called Memorex system. You bought that Memorex system, you used it, and suddenly you, from 38th rank, you went to first rank. We all suddenly knew that all those things don't work, right? So cryptocurrency as a small portion of your life, yes. As a big portion of your life, absolutely no. I'm saying that after you have everything, a little bit. Maybe if you have a 1 crore portfolio, putting say 3,000 rupees a month for the next 5 years or 6 years, maybe yes. Very clearly you have to understand that if there is volatility, you will not remove it at a time when it has fallen. You're putting a small amount of money and you're saying, okay, next 5 years I will not look at it, next 6 years I will not look at it, because in US you're hearing stories of people removing money from a cryptocurrency and buying a house. I know of young students who have been paid in terms of cryptocurrency for the work done. Whether they should remove it and cash it, go on, spend it, or take the money out, put it into mutual funds, I don't know. But yes, cryptocurrency is a reality for very many people. So make sure that you know at least enough to be able to tell the client or prospective client why you should not you should do it or you should not do it, and if you should do it, what are the safeguards that you should take. If something is so volatile and it is going to become so big, even putting a small amount of money should help, right? So put a small amount of money. I also, when people come and ask very open-ended questions, what is cryptocurrency? For all you know, they may have already invested. Then my question is, what is mutual fund, what is gold, what is equity shares? Exactly like that, there is something called cryptocurrency. You should have a strategy as to how you will buy, what you will sell, what are the rules, right? So if you put in, say, 2 lakh of rupees and it has become 4 lakhs in a week or 10 days, will you sell? Do you have any written rules for this which you will stick to? Do you have, will you get your spouse to monitor this? Will you get your children to monitor this? Will it become addicting? Will it become like easy money? Let me quit my job and get into crypto trading, right? Would you do all that with your level of knowledge? You are a dentist or you are an engineer and you don't know how to do all this. Do you really want to take the risk, right? And then they also ask me, why don't you like crypto? It's not that I don't like crypto, I don't know crypto, and I don't think I have any place for crypto in my portfolio. I'm happy with what I have. If I do nothing in my life, I'll die a peaceful man. So I can afford to say, or I can be arrogant to say, I don't need it in my portfolio. I'm very happy with the amount of money I have. I don't plan to risk. I don't plan to risk something which I must have to get something which I don't need, right? So the thing is, what are the risks? The risks are regulatory risk. I don't know how how are you going to produce the capital gains statement? Is your ITO going to believe at what price you sold, right? Are those contracts valid? I don't have an answer for all that. So better to find an answer for all that. Is it legal? As of now, we don't think so. Has the RBI said you can invest? No. Have they said you can't invest? No. So there is a lot of confusion. So find out answers for all that. I'm not giving you the answers. I'm saying find out the answers to all that. Once you have the answers, then make a proper plan and then you start investing or speculating, whatever you want to do. and then you realize how much is the money that you can afford to lose. So putting some mad money into it is not such a bad idea, but I also tell them that you have not done it, right? So that also being, or if you have done it, tell them that you have done it and this is your experience, right? So share all this and ask them to get more details before they can get into crypto trading, because something obviously people are making money, so FOMO cannot be wished away. You will also find 50-60% kind of jump or 50-60% kind of rise. See whether the client is capable of taking that in his portfolio, right? So you will always find arguments saying, look, this is private, the government is printing too much notes, gold, we don't know. All arguments are in place, but these are some of the answers which I think you can give to your clients and get away with it. Thank you.